This is ABC 15 Mornings.
What can I say? Mamba out.
And this morning, the world is remembering a father, a husband, and a legend. Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash with his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 others. She was following in her dad's footsteps as a basketball player. He coached her team, and Kobe saying his daughter was, quote, hell-bent on making the WNBA.
Kobe Bryant was a basketball great and a legend on the court. Those words coming from President Donald Trump and Barack Obama on Twitter. They're just two of the millions of people paying tribute this morning.
Dan Marley, as you well know, a noted Phoenix Sun, a legend here in Arizona, but he played alongside Kobe Bryant. We've got more headlines to get to before we get to that. But first, we do want to take a look at that most accurate forecast. And on a morning when we need some levity, Iris, you are giving it to us. So thank you for that.
You know, trying to. That's all we can do, right? Here as we kick off the week after some very, very rough news that I think is going to take a while to really sink in and for us to kind of begin to move forward and process, right? Let's talk about that forecast, because as you step outside, we've got quickly clearing skies. We had a little bit of light rain over the valley, believe it or not, overnight this morning, so the roads got a little wet, but now they're drying as those clouds are even starting to clear out. Just a few showers to our southeast and southeast Pinal County, a few light snow showers still lingering over some of that higher terrain, but all in all, we're beginning to wind down that rain and that snow that we saw overnight. So you can expect drying and clearing conditions through the early morning. Temperatures right now, they're in the 40s and 50s across the valley. Plenty of sunshine through the morning with temperatures in the low 60s by 11 a.m., upper 60s by 1 o'clock. And then we're looking for highs in the 70s again today. Up to 72 and sunny this afternoon. Clear and down to 47 for a low tonight. And then tomorrow up to 70 degrees before another storm system moves in. We'll talk about what rain chances look like with that one up ahead. Chelsea, want to send it over to you, though, because it sounds like it's a much easier drive in than what it was on Friday.
Exactly, Iris. I know. We'll flip it, right? Monday light. We're going to ease into the week here. Right now, if you're traveling eastbound on I-10 at 7th Avenue, the HOV exit is blocked. So you're going to see delays, not only because of that, but just because it's rush hour and people are starting to get closer to downtown Phoenix. So those breaks on I-10 begin for you around 83rd Avenue, and then it's a solid line of red through the stack, lightens up for you before you get to the mini stack. See all those speedometers stacked like a totem pole? That's what I-17 looks like. You're going to travel between 20 miles per hour up to about 50 miles per hour, and that's all the way up to Loop 101. If you're traveling on the 101, right where it meets I-17 over to the 51, you will see brakes there around 30 miles per hour. East Valley, quiet, no crashes, just normal slowdowns on US 60 and I-10.
Chelsea, thank you. 6:32, arguably among the most recognizable figures across the globe, Kobe Bryant was an ambassador for the game of basketball.
He's also the only player in NBA history to have 2 different jersey numbers retired by the same team. Nohalani Graf is at Grand Canyon University, and she is with Thunder Dan Marley, who we know had a special connection with Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, definitely. Good morning, Nick and Kaylee. A legend in his own right for our Suns fans. Dan Marley, coach of GCU basketball, joining me this morning to talk about your connection to Kobe. And I know these are tough conversations to have, so we appreciate you sharing with us. You crossed over with Kobe a couple of times in your career. What was that like when you would meet him on the court?
Well, it was great. You know, I say I've had the pleasure to play against Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and Kobe Bryant. I think all those guys I know they were all great in their own right. Kobe was younger. I was, later in my career, and then I had a chance to obviously coach against him when it was the Suns and he was with the Lakers, and he was able to keep us out of the finals at least a couple times. So to me, it was always a pleasure to play against the greatest players in the world, and Kobe definitely is one of those guys. So incredibly sad, obviously. Stunned yesterday when I found out about it, and then when I found out that his daughter was on that helicopter crash, it went from incredible sadness to sickness. As parents, we all know that we do anything for our kids, and to think about 2 13-year-old kids who are going to a basketball tournament with their fathers who are so excited, and then to have something like that abruptly happen, it makes you sick to your stomach. And as parents, there's no worse feeling. So we all feel terrible. about Kobe Bryant. Great player, terrific father, was going to do unbelievable things even after basketball. But to me, it's about the families and especially the two young kids, way too young, and they had their whole lives ahead of them. So my prayers and thoughts go out to everybody, obviously. But to me, it really hits home as a parent that your child's on that flight.
I think absolutely it was that gut punch for all of us to hear that. You're also bringing up a new generation of players yourself. The team, you said, is going to practice for the first time today, and this is the generation who grew up watching him, who, in the way that some of us maybe watched MJ. This is the generation of Kobe and LeBron. So what's the conversation that you have with the team this morning to talk about it, because you have to address it?
Oh yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. I'm sure these guys are stunned and in disbelief, and I tell them all the time that you can't take anything for granted. We're very lucky to do what we do. I'm lucky to be a part of basketball and coach at this great university. They're lucky to be here and play basketball. I tell them all the time that you never know when that's going to end for whatever reason. So never take anything for granted. And when you do something, do it 100% with all your might and all your love, and to share your feelings with people that you love every day. To make sure you tell them you love them, because you never know what's going to happen. So, those are tough conversations I'll have with our guys and let them vent a little bit and see what their feelings about. But I'm sure everybody's certain today.
Absolutely. So the last thing then, maybe we can find just a moment of levity, because we are feeling such heavy hearts. Is there a memory or a trait that stands out about him that you've been kind of replaying or going back to?
Just how great, there's a lot of people that I run across that have great God-given ability as a basketball player, but what Kobe had that set him apart, what made him great, like the Michaels and the Larrys, was his mentality. About, as I said to our guys all the time, how he gave 100%, how he was the hardest guy, no matter the abilities he had. First guy in the gym, last one to leave, his work ethic, his competitiveness, and to be great, that's what you have to be. And there's not a whole lot of people in this world that can do that, and Kobe is one of the few that mixes great talent with the ability to have competitiveness and work ethic, and he's done that throughout his whole career. And you saw that after basketball, and you saw that as a parent.
Yeah, that famed Mamba mentality. Coach, we thank you so much for your time. We are sorry for your loss of a friend as well.
Yeah, for everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nick and Kaylee, you can just hear it. It's hard for everybody to digest. Even 24 hours later, it still hasn't settled in. But certainly that's part of the legacy of Kobe, is just remembering what he